Well, I'm finally back again. It's been too long since I made another video. I've been lacking. So today we're going to be reviewing a CRF450L, but before that, I had to put my new GoPro mount on my new helmet. Just got this Icon carbon fiber helmet. Look at that. First off, get this open. Got a chin mount. From chin mounts. Very hard to remember. Yeah, I got a handlebar mount. It's been a while since I bought all this. Is this seriously all this is? Alright, that's easy. There we go. This will be so much better for videos rather than having it up top up here. This is my roommate's bike. I sold it to him in the winter. I have owned two of these. I've owned my original one twice. Let's start it, let it warm up for a second here. Alright, today I'm doing another review. This bike needs to warm up for a little bit. Thanks, I'm in fourth gear. So this is my buddy's, my roommate's, is one of my best friends. This is his 2019 CRF450L. I haven't done video in a little bit, as that's been obvious. So today I'm going to do a review on this thing. So I've owned two of these. I originally owned this one before I sold it to him. He wanted it really badly. We made a deal. He bought it, yada yada. And my first ever big bike, about 4 years ago, I'd say now, I bought a 2022 one of these brand new. So I've experienced a stock one. This one is pretty decently modified. I know most of what's been done to it. I guess there's some things I'd probably overlook, like it's got a Magura, the HC1 front master, it's got braided lines front rear, Magura hydraulic clutch, get ECU with the switch on it, so you can tune or change the tune on the fly. It's got traction control, all that fancy stuff. This speedo up here is 12 o'clock labs. It shows you your RPMs, engine temp, battery voltage, what gear you're in. It's pretty sweet. And then one of the coolest parts even, it has this nice handlebar stabilizer on it. But the bike's tuned exhaust, twin air, air filter, Warp 9 Supermoto wheels. The exhaust is the Yoshimura. It's for a 450X. All the white plastics with the fancy graphics on them. Like, this is about as sweet as you can get. Got the little titanium block on the back. Had to chop the subframe, get rid of the taillight. Like, it's a full-on dirt bike, except, you know, it's street legal, which is awesome. It rides like a dirt bike. It doesn't quite have the power of a normal dirt bike, but it's close. It should be somewhere in the 50s wheel horsepower. If you put in cam in them, an OEM Honda cam out of a 450X, so this bike, 95% the same as a 450X. It's just, they did a little bit to it to make it street legal. So you put the 450X cam in it, and then you make around 60 to 65 wheel, saying you're running conservatively. But so stock, I would never buy one of these bikes brand new from the dealership ever. They're like stock. It's a very fun bike when it wants to work properly. And so let's get into, I guess, when it wants to work properly. So when you buy these bikes from factory, they're very, very constricted. And to meet California emissions, yeah, we gotta love California, right? Their emissions. To meet California emissions, these bikes, when you let off the gas, end up, they cut off the fuel to a bare minimum. So you'll like gas it. So like, say I'm like, I'll get going a little bit. Say I let go of the throttle like this, let it, deaccelerate, and I hit it. The bike, 50% of the time at least, when I used to own my original one, would just die. It would flame out. And then it's really embarrassing. You go to leave a stoplight and the bike dies on you. And then it looks like you don't know what you're doing. But an ECU fixes all of that, but in order to run properly with an ECU, you have to do the exhaust. So it gets kind of pricey. I mean, you do a Vortex ECU, that's the cheaper one, it works amazing. If you do a Vortex ECU, do a Yoshi exhaust, if you buy them brand new, you're looking at $1,500 right off the bat, on top of the bike costing $11,000 out the door at the dealership. And as soon as you leave the dealership, this is like a $9,000 bike. You lose $2,000 right off the bat. What is this guy doing? I don't want to get ran over, please and thank you.
So it's kind of pricey right off the bat. Then, like, let's say you want to add the supermoto wheels. If you want a sweet set of supermoto wheels with tires, you're gonna be looking at like $1,600 to $1,800. This one's got sweet wheels on it with tubeless. The only reason he actually bought it from me is because it already had the Warp 9 wheels on it, and that was the selling point. He did everything else. I know he's got more plans in it. Like, I know he wants to build a suspension at some point. It looks like his front fork's leaking. That's actually news to me. I don't even know if he knows that. So I'm gonna say, as far as daily riding, if you're trying to get a bike to daily ride, this is probably not the bike for you. So these bikes, it's not that they're unreliable, but it's the fact that it's a full-on dirt bike on the street. So the Honda calls for changing the oil every 600 miles. Me and every other person I know that's ever owned one of these does it every 1,000. There's several people with over 50,000 miles on these. They do the oil change every 1,000. No issues. Honda calls for checking the valves, I believe, every 3,000 miles. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. I know it's something crazy. You're supposed to check the valves all the time. All those people that go over 50,000 never once have to adjust the valves. It is a Honda. It's reliable. So you don't have to worry much about the valves. But the constant oil changes does get kind of annoying. Another thing I'm going to add with the daily riding, this bike does not like to cruise. Like, so I'm in fourth gear. Like, the front wheel just pulls off the ground. And it's all so torquey. Like, you barely touch the throttle. Like, that's minimum throttle, and I'm accelerating heavy. The bike is very, very vibrating. It handles amazing with these supermotos. It is an awesome bike, but it vibrates a lot. And if you don't have an aftermarket seat, this one has a seat concept seat with the SKDA seat cover on it. But if you don't have a seat concept seat, it honestly, you can't ride this thing for more than 10 minutes without being in pain. The stock seat on these is so hard and they do not break in. So that's another thing to think about. And it's super tall. Like, I guess I'm kind of short. I'm 5'9". With the sumos, leaning it, I'm still tippy-toeing a little bit. I guess I can flat foot, but it's not comfortable. But there's a lot of mods you gotta do to these bikes in order to make them, even in my opinion, really good bikes. Like, I hate this display's nice. It's, you know, it's a dirt bike. It's like the bare minimum. This guy needs to wake up. It's not a bad display, but like, they should have had something like this from factory. Like, why can't I see what gear I'm in with a 6-speed on a dirt bike? I guess this one's made for trails. For a trail bike, you know, you're gonna be doing a lot of slow speed stuff. The bike might get hot. At least give me a temp gauge. There's no fuel gauge. It sucks not knowing where your RPMs are at, especially on a stock one with no exhaust, because you can barely hear it. It sounds like a leaf blower. You got your music going, whatever. You don't know when to shift. Now, as far, say you just want something fun to just go out, rip around, yeah, this bike's going to be perfect. If you're not using it to commute, this is probably one of the top 3 most fun bikes you will ever ride, as soon as you modify them. When it's stock, I really don't enjoy them a ton. Like, they're fun and all still, but it's amazing what a tune can do. The tune just completely changes this bike, turns it into something completely different. Yeah, thumbs up from that guy. That's awesome. So for an idea on how much power these actually have, with the tune, this bike is about dead even with my R7 up until 60, 70 miles an hour. Then I start pulling away. But the fact that a dirt bike is keeping up with my 700cc sport bike is insane. Granted, mine's fully studded, it's got sprockets and everything. It's still crazy to me because my bike's rated at 72 horsepower. This thing's rated somewhere in the 40s. And another awesome thing about these bikes is they weigh nothing. Like, Honda did great with them, but for the power, like third gear, it just pulls the front wheel up. I barely even gassed it. Now, as far as like actual riding goes with these, comparing it to like bigger bikes. So, I've rode a couple 1000s, and I would honestly say this bike is a scarier bike to ride. I guess I've never been on an old 1000. Old 1000s probably don't have all the technology in them, but new 1000s have so much technology in them. It makes them really smooth, easy to ride. Like, yeah, they're fast, way faster than this, like not even comparable. But this has zero technology in it. ABS is optional. This bike does not have ABS. So it is a raw bike. The front wheel does not want to stay on the ground. So when you
You try riding this in a 1000, the 1000, at least the front wheel wants to stay down. This thing, second gear, comes right up. That was all throttle. Get another one going. We're staying out of the main roads. We're being safe about it. Oh, these things are a blast. Another crazy thing about these, if you want to wheelie, you like supermotos, this is street legal. It's basically a full-on dirt bike. Like, I don't know what more you could ask for. It's a dirt bike you can throw a license plate on. So, and these things will wheelie at about any speed you want them to. If you're coming from something like a Grom and you want to wheelie this bike's going to be very intimidating. There's so much torque that you pull it up, and it's, as soon as you hit balance point, it's just going to keep accelerating, and it's scary to go back. But once you get over that fear, you get behind balance point on this bike, it's the easiest thing in the world to wheelie. You just got to gas it, go back, and catch yourself with the brake. And I'd hope if you're trying to do that, you know foot brake. If you don't know foot brake, go get a Grom, go learn it. Because this is not a great bike to do that on. Just like I would never recommend getting an FC or an R7 to learn how to wheelie. It's a terrible idea. The bad thing with the R7 FC, you can chase balance point for miles and not gain speed. You can even get back behind balance point, throw it back. Engine braking can bring you back down. You don't even have to know how to use the brake. As far as buying these used, it's super easy to find them already tuned, already with an exhaust, and you can even find them with supermoto wheels really easily. And what's crazy is people will be selling them like that, and they'll have like 500 miles on them. It's like, I don't know if it's too much bike for them, if they decide that they didn't know what they were buying. I don't get it. You can get them for 8 grand, sometimes closer to 9, all day long, already modified. Then they have the essential mods done. You don't gotta go spend a lot of money. Then you can do all the fun stuff. Like you know, if they don't have supermoto wheels, go buy your supermoto wheels, customize them, do whatever you want to do with it. Put a graphics kit. Like, it's insane. So as far as the aftermarket goes for this bike, the aftermarket is wild. Like, you can buy just about everything. The only thing with the aftermarket is you're going to look up CRF450L or RL, depending which one you have. There's no difference between the two, besides that there's an R in the name on one. But you're going to look up, you know, CRF450L, CRF450RL, you're going to look up modifications for it, like you're going to look up the exhaust. It's not going to find anything. Like, if you actually look for just L-specific items, you are not going to find any aftermarket for this bike. Everything for it is running off a 450R, 450RX, or 450X. All these plastics are a mix of 450X and 450RX off Polysport, because they do not make white plastics for this bike. They make red plastics for this bike. And then aftermarket, running an RX plastic set, you can get black, or you can get white, or you can obviously get the stock red. So, and as far as like overall dirt bikey feel, you know, it's gonna weigh a little bit more. It's street legal. It's got all the lights and everything on it. So it weighs a little bit more. This bike fully deleted with the exhaust, you know, emissions delete, all that. This bike only weighs around 260, 270 pounds. It is not at all a heavy bike. I know your normal dirt bike will be like around 230, whatnot, and that's cool and all, but I mean, most states can't legally put a plate on that. This thing, it's all 50 state legal. Now, as far as fuel mileage goes, because that is another thing against daily riding. These things get, when you're nice to them, you might get 40 to the gallon. And that is terrible on a bike. It's got a 2-gallon gas tank. 40 miles to the gallon, 80 on a tank is awful. Before you tune it, you'll be around like 45, 50. If you're riding it hard, you might get 30 to the gallon. And I don't know why you're going to buy one of these and not ride it hard. If that's what you're looking at, you got the wrong bike. If you don't want to ride it hard, go get a 300L. If you're going to ride it hard, though, you get the big 450. I'm still not keen on the bar stabilizer. It's still weird to me. It's super nice, like you turn and everything, it's still super nice. You do wheelies and whatnot, it just feels stiff, like you're still on the ground. It takes some getting used to. So I have rode a KTM 500. Before Fooligan got in all of his trouble, I used to ride with him quite a bit. You can see me in a bunch of his old videos. And, you know, now he's got in all of his trouble, lost license, yada yada. It's great. But I used to ride with him all the time. I rode his 500 one time,
And I guess now I don't remember it as well. I'm a lot better of a rider now. I have a lot more experience around bikes, different bikes. It's just been a long time since I rode one. But in the grand scheme of things, I like how this ride's better than I liked how that bike rode. I loved how that bike rode. But, you know, being Derek's, it was in rougher shape. I'm sure it's not as nice as riding a fresh one. As far as reliability goes, this is probably going to outlive it in reliability. I don't think you're ever going to outlive a Honda. But it sucks for street legal dirt bike options. Those are like your only two options. Hydraulic clutch is so smooth. This is not something I would ever think to do on a bike. But then it makes it so much smoother on here. Like it's getting going before it's kind of jerky. It's like rah, and it just goes. With this hydraulic clutch, you can just kind of, it's nice and linear. Nothing quite like the happiness. Here, just barely gas it. Third. It's just crazy. You can just power up 1 through 4 like it's nothing. I'm not even trying. I'm barely leaning back and forth, and it comes up. A little gas here. For a dirt bike, it moves. These bikes can cruise 80 miles an hour pretty comfortably. It's actually kind of wild. I don't think I'd do a long trip on it, but if you're going, going down the highway or something quick, it is amazing at it.